I get many a DM via my social, via my Instagram, and the one main question I get every day without a doubt is, how do you do your hair? So I'm going to give you a tutorial. This is the first time I've ever done this, start to finish. No speeding up, no editing. I'm actually going to show you how I do this. I'm going to talk through the kind of products I use so you can do this at home if you're wanting to give it a try. I'm in my own home, finally. I'm in my own bathroom, so let's do this. Okay, first things first, let's make sure this is in the right position so I look decent. Okay, so my hair is naturally very curly, and so what I have to do is I need to use the right kind of products to make sure I blow it out so it doesn't look as full and curly. So I use a pre-spray first. It's a heat protecting spray. This is called pre-styling. It's you can get it online. It's by Villain Sidekick is what it's called. I sometimes don't use this. I'll use a Tresemme one. So yeah, there's a few you can get. You don't have to get this brand. So I do 3 or 4 pumps of that in my hand. I put it all over my hair. And then I just start to get it into place how I want it to be. So I have a side parting, the back is all swept back, and then this goes over. So I'm kind of already getting it into place. The pre-spray doesn't add any kind of shape or hold really. It's just a heat protector, so that's what I use first. And then I don't use any of the products. There's only 2 more products I use. I don't use those until I'm done drying my hair. So I brush this into place. I use this round brush to do it. I brush it into place first. I get it into position. And then I do this differently every day. Sometimes I start from front to back, sometimes I start from back to front. It doesn't really matter, I get the exact same result. However, what I do is I start with my parting. So I blow dry that into position first because it's the most unruly part. So I want to get that dry as soon as possible. There we go. Okay, so I went from the front from the side towards the back, and now I'm going to dry the back more. I don't necessarily need the brush for it, so I'm just going to use my hand. Okay, now the back's done and the side's done. And now it's the main part, the one that I want to give the most height. So, first things first, I do this back part real quick just so that lays the way I want it to lay. And then I do some of this back. So I'll start from the back and I'll work my way forward. And so that I just pushed back as I was blow drying it. The rest of it, I kind of roll the brush as I'm blow drying. You see, like that, super simple. It's going to take a while to get used to it. The first time I did it, it completely screwed up. But after 2 or 3 tries, you really start to get used to it. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to go there, then I'm going to start here, I'm going to go to there. So you're working across your hair. I've gotten about halfway forward. Now I'm going to focus on the side because I need to give that height. I don't want it to dry up too much. And then I'll go from the front and then I'll get that little bit over there. This is the way I do it. You can do it all the way from the back to the front if you really want. But I like to do that part first just to get it into position. And then this part, if I don't get this soon, it's going to dry with a weird curl. So I'm going to start to get this part, just this part, and then I'll start to work through that. So here it is. Okay, so now the very front's done. Now I'm going to start to work my way back. You'll see I've just got one part there with the hole in it. That's the part that needs some height. And also you'll notice I'm going from the root up. From the root up. I start from the very, very root of it. Okay. Okay, and then it starts to look crazy like Elvis hair. However, what I then do is I just put my head down and blow dry so I get the height that I want. So okay, so now it's pretty much done. I'm just going to do it's pretty much done. I'm going to do a last couple of sections with the brush just to make sure that one is getting a little too curly, so I'm going to blow it out a little bit more. So yeah, just add the last couple of touches with your blow dry and your brush and then we're pretty much done. Okay, so now it's pretty much in place. I know it seems to be taking a long time. Usually this takes me about 5, sometimes 7 minutes. Obviously I'm slowing down so I can show you how it's done. So whilst it's still warm, this is really important, whilst it's still warm, I add some argan oil. I add 1 pump just a tiny little bit. And then I put a tiny little bit more, tiny pump and a half. I use my fingers, and then I'm just getting it all the way through my hair. I've got really dry, coarse hair. And so I just want to add more moisture back into it after it's been blow dried, otherwise it ruins my hair. It just feels like it's dead. Okay, and even with just the oil, you start to get an idea of what it's going to look like. It gets into position real nice. And don't worry, I know it looks a little shiny right now, but as soon as I add my pomade, which is my finisher, that's going to take away some of the shine. I don't love super shiny hair personally. If that's your thing, great, go for a pomade that's different to this, but I prefer a matte look pomade, and so that's what I'm using here. And so you can get matte pomades from anywhere, like your local grocery store, Sephora, if you want to spend a little more money. You don't have to go crazy. They shouldn't be expensive, super expensive. Okay, so I took like that much. There you are. I took about that much, and then I've rubbed it between my fingers. Sorry, I should have shown you that. And again, my hair's still warm. I've still got the heat in, so it helps me evenly distribute. Now, I know people say you should go from the back to the front. I think that that's so that you don't use too much on your hair at the front. You don't get clumps. Maybe that is so. However, because I really do spread it out in my hands first, there aren't any clumps. I make sure I get all of the clumps out first, and then I distribute it through my hair. And so you'll see all I'm doing is running it through my whole hair evenly, and then I'll just take a tiny bit more, and all I'm doing is getting some of the ends so it looks a little more defined. And then that is pretty much it. So I can just kind of twist it, and then it kind of gives it a little bit of definition. I like the more natural look, so I don't go crazy with the definition. Okay, that's it. And then with the pomade and with this height, you should be good all day. I can even move my fingers through my hair, run my fingers through my hair, and it doesn't cause me major issues. So throughout the day, you can move it around if you feel like you've not got the height. All I do is I go like this, and then I'll reposition some of the top, and then it's done. That's it. Super simple. Let me know what you think of that video. I want to know if you think it seems simple enough. Subscribe to my channel, comment below, let me know if it worked for you. And I hope you love it. And it's not just my hairstyle that you can get with this. Use these techniques to get other styles too. Like, start with as treatment spray. Get a good brush that's gonna give you the look that you want. Use an oil, use a decent pomade that's gonna keep your hair in place. So this doesn't just have to be for like the Tan France hair. You can use these techniques for other hairstyles. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned. Thanks for watching.